Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the first of my freelance talks videos for you guys, and this one is going to be about how I found clients on Facebook. So I guess to give you guys a little bit of background about me, I am a graphic designer and illustrator here in Christchurch, New Zealand. I made the decision to try to start a freelance business about a year ago. The main reason that I want to freelance is that I want to go overseas and I wanted to be able to take my work with me. I don't want to be stuck here in New Zealand either with a job or wanting to go overseas and then always having to come back. For me, a freelance business is really important. It's really important that I'm doing well with freelancing, so I'm on a big push now. I've got a year and a half, I think, before I'm thinking of leaving the country and doing a bit of traveling. So freelancing for me is very important at the moment, and I'm trying my best to pick up as many clients as possible while also maintaining my full-time job here in New Zealand. The very first freelance gig that I picked up was actually a volunteer job. I got it through a Facebook group. The person that admined that group knew someone who was looking for a designer, and I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. I clicked on a little notification that came up on my browser, and I was the first one to comment, and I was very lucky to get the job. I still do work for that client. This year has been extremely fun. You can go and see a little bit of that on my Instagram, but essentially what I do for her is a bit of marketing. This year I got to make a journal, which was awesome. I didn't get paid for any of it, but I really enjoyed it, and I also felt like it was a really good stepping stone for me to get some confidence and learn about client interaction before getting onto some paid jobs. I highly recommend, if you're someone who doesn't have a whole heap of knowledge in the industry yet, that you pick up some volunteer jobs or maybe even do some jobs for free so that you can add them to a portfolio and even gain yourself some clients. So that first job that came through was through a Facebook group, and pretty much every other job that I have picked up so far has been through Facebook as well. I am part of a New Zealand startup business page. I myself am a startup business, so it's perfect for me, and there's also a lot of people on there looking for different sets of skills to them, and it's kind of like a job board. It's also a bit of how-tos and things like that as well. So I think it's awesome. It's a really good place to find clients. For something like illustration, which is quite unique and perhaps a little less sought after, there's a lot of development skills that people are looking for. People need UI designers, UX designers, web developers, app designers particularly. Sometimes they need a graphic designer, but it's not very often it happens. I just happened to pick up my second ever official client through that Facebook page. It was actually a super awesome job. Little did I know it was a small job that turned into a really big job, and there should be some more work coming in hopefully later on in the year. The other group that I follow that is mostly bloggers, it's also entrepreneurs, people who are starting up businesses themselves. That one's a bit more self-promotion-y. There's a lot of people always promoting the business. I don't mind it so much. There will be a lot of jobs that actually come through that. It's kind of like sifting through a lot of stuff quite frequently, so it's a bit more first in, first served. If you get to the post quick enough and no one else has seen anything, then you'll likely get the job. So there's kind of like two halves to it, where you've got a lot of people asking and you've got a lot of competition, and then you've got not so many people asking, but you're kind of like the only one in your niche in that group, and you're likely to get the job if you're there on time. So I found that really awesome to find jobs. I definitely recommend that you go and follow maybe a local business startup group or a community similar to that. Here in New Zealand, we only have 4 million people, so I guess for me locally is New Zealand based. Even more locally would be my home city, Christchurch, or even smaller than that would be sort of my niche community. So I am a figure skater, so I'm part of the figure skating community here in Christchurch. That means that I'm kind of like the only one who does figure skating and designing. So that kind of leads me on to my next part, which is be a part of groups and make it known your skill set and your particular niches. Say you're a designer and you're also a surfer. You could be part of the surfing community. Let it be known that you have the skills as a designer. Perhaps there's a job for designing a surf poster, or perhaps they are in contact with a shop that needs some branding or some posters or marketing. There's lots of opportunities there as well. It was really interesting. The other weekend I had a competition, and one of the people I was competing against was just starting a dressmaking business. And she asked me what I did for a living, and I said I was a designer, and she just happened to need a logo. So that is kind of what I mean. So I would definitely use that to your advantage as well. So make sure it's known in your small communities that you are a designer, or an illustrator, web developer, whatever it is that you do. Hopefully someone will pass it on to someone else, and maybe the fact that you're in that particular niche, whether it be sport or the arts, anything like that. There's always someone looking for a designer, so definitely be part of those groups, make it known, and hopefully that you come to mind when they're looking for someone. You can also use your personal Facebook page to sort of promote yourself. You could always put out a post on your personal Facebook page, talk about how you are a designer and you're looking for work, and if anyone is interested. Personally, a lot of the stuff that I post on Facebook my mum sees and she likes, which I am very thankful for, but it doesn't really get you very far. I haven't had much success with that, but I do try and post a lot of the things that I've been working on opposed to promoting myself. I personally find self-promotion, especially on something like Facebook, is really difficult. I would much promote something I've done as opposed to wanting work and that sort of thing. I guess if I was getting really desperate or there was something very significant happening in my life and I wanted to push that I was a freelancer and I was looking for work, then I would post on Facebook and I would say, please share, go and like my business Facebook page, let it be known to everyone around you that you're looking for work, that there could be someone you never know at that particular point in time who is looking for a designer, and you might just pick up something really good. So like I said earlier, you want to try and think local because you may be one of very few in quite a large market. Like I said, you could be one of only designers in your surfing group. So I think for me, I found Facebook to be a bit of a right place, right time type deal. I would maybe turn on notifications for particular groups that you're finding jobs are coming through quite frequently for. I would definitely try and be part of local groups, put your name out into those groups to let everyone know that you are a designer, and just always be ready for something to come up. I definitely agree that Facebook can be a bit of a hole and I definitely get sucked into it way too often, but I try and do it maybe once or twice a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon. I keep it to a minimum, but it really is a right place, right time type of thing. So a lot of the jobs that I found, I've been really lucky to just get a notification, reply to it as quick as possible, and be really quick and concise, be the first one there, and often you will get the job. I personally have found this the most effective way to find pretty much all of my clients in the last 6 months. I'm sure if you're really desperate and looking for work that you will make the effort to be a part of these groups and make yourself known within the groups. I often find my best success comes from people looking for a designer as opposed to me trying to push that I am a designer and I'm looking for work. There are different ways maybe that you could get some attention by maybe discounting your services or perhaps doing some work for free. Volunteer work is also really good if you want to build your portfolio, you want to get connections, perhaps learning the ropes of freelance and things like that to maybe get yourself a little bit more comfortable for when you get real paying clients. If you're just starting out, I think this is a really good method for you guys to find work. And then hopefully the people that you do work for will refer you on to other people. My number one thing always is that you must do your best work no matter how much it costs or what the outcome is. Especially in the beginning, you'll make sure that your clients are really happy because they will be the ones referring you to your clients in the future. Out of all of the things that people have told me, it seems to be that referrals and word of mouth are the best way for you to get clients in the future. Anyways, that is it from me. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of this series, which will be weekly, and hit the like button if you liked this video, and leave a comment below if you have any suggestions for me for any upcoming freelance talks. Again, thank you so much for watching. I am pretty awesome, so are you, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye!